Race fever sweeps over Corning. NASCAR fans have a good reason to be excited for the future of the sport, as well as the big race at the Glen. Good evening, everyone. I'm Joe Malillo in for Daryl Kirkland Morgan.
And I'm JB Buno. Thanks for joining us on the late edition. For the fans, the big race at Watkins Glen is all about the speed, the crashes, and the drivers who were noticeably absent today.
That's right. In past years, big-name drivers would show up on Bridge Street to sign autographs and meet the fans. But today, the stars were a no-show. But that didn't stop fans from getting some signatures from perhaps the future stars of racing.
Connor Brown doesn't have a New York State driver's license, but every Saturday he drives at Woodhull Raceway, dubbed the toughest track in New York. Up until 2 years ago, Connor drove go-karts. Now, as a 15-year-old, he's the youngest driver in his class and 6th in the league standings.
A lot of people think you just drive in circles, but there's a lot more. It's a lot more complex than just going in a circle.
Driving 85 miles an hour with 23 other racers can be fun and dangerous, so Connor has to earn this seat every Saturday.
My mom's really strict about racing. If I don't have above like an 85, I think it is, an 85 in school, in all my classes, then I'm not allowed to race.
He loves it Saturday nights, but during the week from Sunday to the Friday, he learns there's a lot in between to get it ready and a lot of discipline on his part.
Connor is more similar to NASCAR drivers than you might think. Stars like Tony Stewart started racing at dirt tracks just like Woodhull.
It is the future of racing, and this is where it begins, whether it's Little League, the Major League, or go-karting to dirt tracking to NASCAR. We've had a lot of people associated with Woodhull that's into NASCAR.
I can't imagine doing anything else because I love racing. I'll probably be doing it for the rest of my life.
You can catch Connor and all the other dirt track drivers at Woodhull Raceway every Saturday. The hell of a good sour cream dips at the Glen is Sunday's big event, but WGI is jam-packed with events all Saturday. The hell of a good sour cream dips at the Glen is Sunday's big event, but WGI is jam-packed with events all weekend. Hundreds of people are already setting up. If the traffic on Franklin Street is any indicator of what to expect this weekend, the Glen will be packed, and that's great news for business owners. Some business owners have even leased their parking lots to merchants from across the country to sell souvenirs. Business owners say this has been a great summer for local businesses in downtown Watkins Glen, but this weekend puts the icing on the cake.
We support the NASCAR event because it's very good for Watkins Glen and the whole area.
We're expecting a good turnout this weekend. We expect to sell a lot of stuff, hopefully no rain, and a good time.
Tickets are still on sale for this weekend's events. Head over to www.theglen.com for more information.
New York State police have charged an Elmira man with stealing brass urns from a local cemetery and selling them for scrap metal. 33-year-old Kenneth Ramsey is charged with third-degree grand larceny. Police arrested Ramsey yesterday after they say he stole bronze vases from the grave sites at Forest Lawn Memorial Park on Jerusalem Hill in Elmira. The vases, valued at $20,000, were then sold as scrap metal at several local scrap yards. Police say the investigation is ongoing and more arrests are expected. If you have any information, contact investigator Randy Hugg at the number on your screen.
Congressman Maurice Hinchey believes members of a hydrofracking advisory committee are financially tied to the natural gas industry. The Natural Gas Subcommittee of the Secretary of Advisory Board released a report today saying they remain committed to improving the methods of hydrofracking in an environmentally safe manner. Hinchey believes 6 of the 7 members of the subcommittee are financially engaged to the hydrofracking industry in some way. Hinchey acknowledges the optimism of the report, but says he doesn't believe hydrofracking can protect the public and environment from an unprecedented level of drilling across the country.
Well, fall definitely in the air across the Twin Tiers today. Temperatures only topping out in the mid-70s. We've had some clouds popping up through the afternoon hours. Since sunset, though, we've gone clear. It'll stay that way as we go through the rest of the overnight period, and that's going to result in some pretty chilly temperatures tonight, especially in the rural valleys where we could be looking at some mid and upper 40s. At the airport in Big Flats, 11 o'clock number for you, 57 degrees, clear skies, relative humidity currently up to 81%, 63 the current temperature in Penn Yan, 55 in Wellsboro, 62 in Dansville. Erin dropping off to 59 degrees. New Albany currently at 57. First forecast for the rest of tonight. Temperatures down to 47 degrees. Mostly clear skies. A westerly wind at under 10 miles per hour. Tomorrow, another nice looking day, sunshine mixed with a few clouds during the afternoon. It'll be a warmer day with a 5-degree guarantee up to 82. We'll keep it in the low 80s Saturday, but we're expecting increasing clouds. Unfortunately, the weather will go downhill by race time on Sunday. We'll have a more detailed look at the forecast in just a few minutes. JB?
Thank you, Joe. The man who initiated the I Love New York campaign received an emotional send-off today. The casket of former New York Governor Hugh Carey was carried through St. Patrick's Cathedral this morning in New York City. Andrew Cuomo, Mario Cuomo, Michael Bloomberg, and Ed Koch were just some of the faces in the crowd that showed up for the funeral service. Carey served in the U.S. House of Representatives from 1961 to 1974, then took over as governor of New York until 1982. He was succeeded in 1975 by Mario Cuomo, whose son Andrew is the current governor of New York. Carey died in his home on Sunday at the age of 92.
And as campers head up to the Glen, they were met by an environmental officer at a checkpoint on Route 14. The New York State Police and the Department of Environmental Conservation is checking the movement of firewood. In New York State, it's illegal to move firewood more than 50 miles from its source, and you can't move it across state lines. And that's because firewood may have an insect that kills North American ash trees. The emerald ash borer is highly destructive and has already invaded several counties across the state.
They're causing kills in ash trees and a number of different species of trees, so we're trying to prevent the movement of those species.
Violators could receive a fine of up to $250 and 30 days in jail.
A Spencerport resident is arrested for sexually abusing a 10-year-old. The Steuben County Sheriff's Office announces the arrest of 49-year-old Michael Fairman. Fairman is accused of sexually abusing a 10-year-old girl while they were camping together in Canastillo. He's been charged with 2 counts of sexual abuse and endangering the welfare of a child. Fairman is currently in the Steuben County Jail on $25,000 bail.
Public transit in the southern tier just got a little bit easier. The Institute for Human Services teamed up with CSS Workforce New York to create the first ever Tri-County bus map. Bus riders now have an easy-to-use go-to source for bus routes, maps, and schedules for Chemung, Schuyler, and Steuben counties. The goal of the Tri-County map is to make people more aware of all the public transportation services available.
Really, the target audience is the general public, because what we're trying to do is to provide them with a tool that they can use to help them use public transit.
Now, organizers also say the bus maps will be especially useful for job seekers. Maps can be picked up at any CSS Workforce New York location.
A former college professor from Elmira has pleaded guilty in federal court to creating a fake online identity to threaten a police officer. Gary Obirick of Elmira pleaded guilty to concealing a crime. Obirick allegedly stalked and made threats against a New Orleans police officer he accused of raping his girlfriend in 2007. Prosecutors say Obirick admitted to using fake Facebook names to send threatening emails. Obirick was a former associate professor of criminology and sociology at Anna Maria College in Massachusetts. He is no longer employed by the college and now faces 3 years in prison. Coming up, it's up, it's down, it's up, it's down. We'll update you on the Wall Street roller coaster.
Then later, police raid apartments in England looking for suspects they believe sparked the intense riots. Here's a look at tonight's Almanac page. Joe's full forecast right after this break.
Time for that summer vacation? Wilkins RV in Bath, New York has your answer. Go RVing. Avoid the hassle.
This is WANY TV, your home for news in the Twin Tiers.
And Chief Meteorologist Joe Barris joins us now. Joe, everyone is talking about the race this weekend, and it ain't looking too good, is it?
Yeah, it's kind of iffy right now, especially for Sunday. Now, we could get through a lot of Saturday on a dry note, but the important day, Sunday, not looking so hot. In fact, some of the computer models giving us an inch and a quarter of rainfall. So, not good news there, but we'll get into details in just a second.
All right.
All right, weather headlines for tonight. Dry conditions out there, some pretty chilly temperatures as well, moderating temperatures.
Thank you very much, Joe. Another big swing on the stock market today, this one on the upside, as stocks rose on Wall Street after getting positive news on the job fronts. The Labor Department announced that the number of people claiming unemployment benefits dropped below 400,000 for the first time in 4 months last week. The 4-week average of jobless claims have now been down for 6 straight weeks. President Obama, who was visiting an advanced battery manufacturing plant in Michigan today, said there are still many challenges ahead.
Too many people who are out of work are struggling to get by with fewer shifts or fewer customers. Paychecks aren't big enough. Costs are too high.
The greatest concerns might not be in the U.S., but in fact Europe. The fiscal health of Italy, Spain, and now France have spooked markets around the globe. The leaders of France and Germany, Europe's biggest economies, plan to meet next week to discuss solutions to Europe's financial difficulties.
The battle with Republicans over the debt ceiling, a decline in the stock market, and depressing news from Afghanistan have hurt President Obama's poll numbers. Criticism from Republicans remains sharp, and now some of the president's allies are voicing concern. Tamon Bradley has the story.
Some stories you can find in tomorrow's Star-Gazette. Juan Pablo Montoya is looking for another big victory at the Glen. Our media partner will recommend 10 things to watch for this weekend at Watkins Glen International. A study finds that 25% of New York households have hunger problems. Plus, 12 BOCES students try to solve problems in space. And don't forget to check out Joe's 5-degree guarantee. Coming up in sports, Andy has more from NASCAR race fever in Corning tonight, plus a story on 5 teammates who are shooting their way to the top of their sport. Sports is next.
Give them a call, 607-796-9090. And guys, I've got to say this, being out there just last night, seeing how these guys operate, so much practice, so much dedication, and really they are pros, so good at hitting all of these skeet, they call them, the little target things they shoot off. And really great job.
Pull!
Yeah, pull. I always think of the movie Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead.
Okay.
Back in the day with Kenny hitting some actually dishes, not skeet, but the
amount of precision and skill that it would take. I mean, really, it's a fascinating sport.
Yeah,
Aim
small,
really
miss small.
That's right.
Aim small, miss small. That's right.
That is true.
That's the Patriot. Yeah, good luck.
But thanks to them and best of luck.
All righty. Thank you very much, Andy. Joe will have a last look at the forecast right after the break. You're watching the late edition on WENY TV News.
Twin Tier CW2.
All right, finally in tonight's Spotlight, the Zumba craze comes to Elmira. New York Sport and Fitness hosted its 2nd annual free Zumba in the park this afternoon. Anyone wanting to get out and dance had a chance to try Zumba for free. This exercise craze is catching on with people of all ages. Zumba is a mix of dance and cardio and constant movement to keep the heart rate up. But to me, this looks more like something Joe Veras would enjoy.
Yeah, there it is.
Yes, sir. I invented Zumba. What are you talking
Really?
about? Oh, yeah. I've been doing that for years.
Zumba.
Joe Veras Zumba.
Can you imagine? That wouldn't be a pretty sight. I don't
You
know.
could do the rain dance.
We got,
You think so?
Oh, yeah. How about that for a fun? That's right.
They had a lot. They had a lot of moves, Joe. I think you can handle
we
it.
got some, Joe?
I'd probably fall over trying
It's
to
funny
keep
how
up with
he
it.
was in the field shooting that video and he thought of you.
Yeah, isn't that nice? All right, let's take a look at what we can expect weather-wise. I tell you what, it's going to be a nice day tomorrow. Perfect for outdoor activities. Perfect if you're camping up at Watkins Glen, but then it starts to go downhill a bit for the weekend. Here's a look at that planner for tomorrow. 55 degrees at 8 o'clock, 75 midday, 82 tomorrow's 5-degree guarantee. Just a few fair weather clouds popping up in the afternoon hours. 83 on Saturday. Just took a look at the latest computer model run that was issued about half an hour ago, and that actually keeps us dry through about 5, 6 o'clock Saturday. So it looks like most of the daylight hours Saturday will be dry. Better chance for showers Saturday night, and then Sunday, though, still looking for some showers. May see a little break in the action midday, early afternoon, so we'll keep our fingers crossed for that, but pretty high chance for at least getting scattered showers on Sunday.
A lot of fingers crossed.
We'll see what we can do. Maybe we'll update that for you tomorrow.
All right. So I know, Andy, that you're praying also, too. You should get next to bedside every night and just,
Yeah,
hey, man.
You know, it's either go to the race and get rained out or do Zumba. Take your pick. Take your pick.
Well, thanks for joining us on the late edition. We'll see you tomorrow night, everybody. Take care.